Hey, what's up, guys? This is Marlon Lenard. You're in Effect Commune. So I'm going to show you how to import footage into After Effects CS5. Alright, let's get started. Let's go down to our Applications menu, find After Effects CS5, and let's get it loaded. Okay? It might help to have your actual footage on the desktop like I do, so it'll be a lot easier to find. Now, if you're pulling straight from a camera, you might want to go and find different processes of doing that, maybe putting it into an actual folder, but either way it go, it's a lot easier to find footage when it's on the desktop. Excuse the helicopter noises and the airplanes. I live right next to an airport. There we go. Get on out of here. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. If you're new to After Effects, I'll show you a couple of different ways we can, get some stuff started. But as far as anything, this is solely about importing footage. Okay, and we're open. Okay. If you're working with CS3, CS4. Chances are, this is the same palette, but same user interface, but well, not the same user interface, kind of different, but at the end of the day, it's all the same methods. Before we start, read the tip of the day. Very useful, very helpful. 2-3 seconds of your life might end up saving you 4 or 5 hours of research on the internet. Okay. Basically, the way you want to always open your projects is a new composition, unless you have a recent project you want to continue to work on. Help and support tab here. It's not really too much help and support, so what I like to do is just go on YouTube and tune into some of the users who upload video and get help from them. It's a lot more useful rather than going here. But okay, what you want to do is hit new composition. I'm not going to, because if you're anything like me, when I first started using After Effects, I didn't know what any of this was, so I hit close. Okay, now you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? To start a composition, you have to open a new composition. Okay, and there's 2 ways you can do that. You can go to Composition at the top tab here and hit New Composition, or you can go down to the Projects tab here. It's right next to your Effects tab. Okay, and this little button here, right in between the 8B PC and the New Folder tab, there is a Create a New Composition button. Okay, and but first, one thing you want to do is, because your layout might be a little bit different from mine, is go up to Window, Workspace, and choose Standard. Standard should be the most basic interface that you're going to end up using, unless you have any other reason why you don't want to work out of standard, then hey. But let's start with this. Just go with standard. Okay, now before we create a new composition, what I want to do is open or import my footage. Okay, the way I just did that was in this small space here in your projects panel, there's like no information, because usually inside when you get your project started you'll have information in here and maybe not enough space, but just make sure you hit an empty spot inside this project panel and double click. There's another way to do that. You can go up to File, Import, or Command I. I'm just going to double click, and automatically I'm in my desktop bin. Note file I'm looking for is title comp. Okay, this is the title. I can hit space to preview. Okay, this is the title I'm looking for, so I'm going to import that. I'm going to hit open. Alright, now I have my title footage imported into my After Effects CS5. What I want to do is I want to open a new composition with the same settings as I have in After Effects. Okay, in my actual video, sorry. So if I have, let's see, here goes my title comp, and all of the specs are listed below. So it's shot at 1920 by 1080. Okay, it's 8 seconds long, 29, basically 30 frames per second, but 29.97. Okay, that's exactly the settings that I need to set my composition on. Now, if you shot any type of footage where it was 1080 by 720 and it was what 23 frames per second, 24 frames per second, then that's what your composition needs to be set on, unless you have reason to not do that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the title, drag that, and drag it over the new composition button, and boom. Okay. Boom. Now, if you tell, inside of our project menu, we have our basic footage. This is the raw footage file, and here is the composition file. And you can know that by the type. It says type, composition, and then our QuickTime. So anything here with this icon, this film strip icon, is a new composition. Okay. Inside of our composition, it's called title comp. We have our footage housed. So it's actually housed inside of our timeline because we created a new composition. Okay. Everything runs. My composition is at 8 seconds. It's at 1920 by 1080. Everything's good. Now I can even go up to the raw footage, our QuickTime footage here, right below our composition, and drag another copy into the timeline. Now I have 2 copies of the same footage, 2 layers. Okay, you can click on that, hit enter, and that'll allow you to rename it. So I can just name this first. Okay, and click, then press return or enter, and second. Nice. Okay, well, let's see. You can always change your composition settings. Make sure you have your composition selected, and you'll notice that by the title of your comp, which is here. Mine's just title comp, and it's highlighted all the way around in your timeline. Okay, cool. Now what I want to do is go up to composition settings, which is Command K for shortcut buffs out there. Okay, and anything I change here, let's say we change this from HDTV to something smaller, 720. Let's try this. It's gonna mess up a lot of things, but hey, it's a tutorial. Okay, change that. Now we're gonna hit OK. Now check out, look what happened. The footage is actually shrank. It's smaller in there. It just looks really distorted. It's not the way it's supposed to be. And this is what's going to happen if you put your settings, your composition settings, completely different from if you have them different from each other. So that's very, very important. Just hit Command Z to go back and revert. If you ended up doing that, chances are you lost. But yeah, that's the basic way of importing footage into After Effects and opening up a new composition. And from here, it's hard work and dedication, and struggle and success. So comment, rate, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and look out for more.